Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Nako, pag ganito ang tema ng episode, pag alam kong medyo ganito ang topic, alam ko mainit na naman na magiging diskusyon sa ating comment section. Anyway, ang pag-uusapan po natin in this episode, what I will share with you is a video of an international student expressing her sentiments, her frustrations, dito sa paghihigpit na ginagawa ng gobyerno ng Canada sa issue ng immigration. Nag-viral din, itong video na to. This was just from a couple of days ago. This lady represents a group of international students. At ang mga hinaing niya, dito sa video na mapapanood ninyo, sinasabi na with the uncertainty, basically, sa future ng marami mga international students, lalo na dun sa mga mag-expire ang post-graduation work permit at hindi sa ngayon siguro makahanap ng pathway to permanent residency. Ang sentimento nila, bakit ganun-ganun na lang? Kumbaga, they were sold the Canadian dream. Yan ang kanyang linya, Hindi lang by agents and private organizations or groups, pero pati daw ang gobyerno, kumbaga, binenta sa kanila na meron silang future dito sa Canada. At ngayon, kumbaga, parang sasaraduhan na lang sila ng ganun-ganun. So I'd like to get your thoughts about what she's saying in this video. Let me play it here. Yan, okay. Talagang sa nagkaroon ng press conference dito nung isang araw.
Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Navjot Salaria. I came here in Canada in 2021 as an international student. After studying from York University, I got postgraduate work permit and I started working in an IT company at a big bank. So I am one of 200,000 postgraduate work permit holders in Canada whose work permits are expiring in 2024 and 2025. International students were sold the Canadian dream by government, colleges, and their recruiters with the slogan, study, explore, work, and stay.
Nakita nyo, Usually, ang napag-uusapan ng mga nanloloko sa international students, yung mga agents, consultants, even ordinary people, telling them na, naku, sige, makipagsapala rin kayo doon sa Canada. Iwan nyo na itong buhay nyo kung saan man kayo galing. Ibenta nyo lahat ng pagmamayari ninyo. Sumugol na kayo doon kasi sure na magiging permanent resident kayo doon. Again, wala pong garantiya ang permanent residency, lalo na kung kayo ay papasok ng international student. At ang sinasabi niya, they were sold the Canadian dream. Pati ng gobyerno, even by the government. Sabi ko, totoo ba talaga? Ano ba ang katotohanan tungkol dyan? Dito sa sinasabi niyang slogan na study, explore, work, and stay. Sige, alam mo, isa-stop ko lang muna to dito dahil ginugal ko talaga. Kako, ano ba talaga ang linya ng gobyerno patungkol sa international student pathway? Aba, meron nga talaga na lumabas na gano'n na. Hold on. Tingnan nyo ito. This is from Canada.ca, okay? Official government website. International students study, work, and stay in Canada. Okay, mukhang In a way, binibenta nila yung possibility na meron kang option to stay in Canada. Puntahan natin yung isang mahalagang part dito, Pinakinggan ko na siya kanina. It's 2 minutes and a half, 2 minutes and 37 seconds. Papakita ko sa inyo yung isang part na pinag-uusapan yung chances to become PR. Okay.
Wouldn't it be nice to apply all of your Canadian educational credentials and work experience to pursuing a career and building a life in Canada? Express Entry, the Provincial Nominee Program, or the Atlantic Immigration Pilot can be your path to permanent residency. And the time you spend in Canada as a student or temporary worker counts towards eventually applying to become a Canadian citizen. After all this, maybe you too can become Canadian, eh? To discuss.
So parang meron In a way, this video sort of entices potential international students, pati temporary foreign workers, into coming into Canada with the incentive of possibly staying. Ang tanong dyan, ginaguarantee ba? Ginaguarantee ba? Siguro kung hindi ka nag-research ng mabuti, this video can make you believe na, ay, pwede pala. Oo nga, pwede, no? Pero syempre, ako naman, if you're thinking of migrating to another country, siguro naman mag-research ka ng mabuting-mabuti. At isa sa pinakamahalagang tanong, if not the number one question that you should research on is, guaranteed ba na meron akong permanent residency doon sa lilipat akong bansa? Diba? So siguro a little bit research could have avoided many people's problems now, no? Lahat, may iwasan yung sitwasyon ng maraming mga international students na umasa na magiging PR, na ang paniniwala nila ay niloko sila. 'Di ba? Yun ang problema doon eh. Not to mention, talagang may mga nanloko talaga sa kanila who made them believe and convince them that permanent residency is guaranteed. 'Di ba? Again, it's not. It's not.
Our families suffered everything, selling land, taking on debt, and paying high tuition fees to make this dream a reality. During COVID, we supported the economy by taking on essential and unsafe jobs many Canadians avoided and were not willing to take. Not only that, international students contribute $30 billion annually to Canada's economy through tuition, rent, and taxes. But recent changes to PR eligibility and the closure of some of the important provincial programs have left many of us in limbo. The Trudeau government changed the goalpost without any regard for how it would affect many of us, without grandfathering current and former international students into the new policies. International students with expiring work permits are now being forced to pursue other ways to stay in Canada, such as applying for visitor records, buying bonded labor contracts by LMIAs, re-enrolling to exploitative colleges, and in some cases applying for refugee claims.
Alam mo siguro that part, itong last sentence niya, yan ang medyo pinaka-off, for me. Now she is admitting or saying na yung mga international students who want to stay here pero wala ngang path to PR, naghahanap na mga parang loopholes. Yun ang nangyayari, no? I do not know if that will work to her advantage, if it will gain public sympathy for those in her situation, because if anything, I'm pretty sure locals here don't want to hear that, na pinasisikutan yung immigration system. Ang nakakalungkot dito, natadamay talaga pati yung mga international students na sinunod naman ng lahat ng proseso, hindi naman na nag-aaral lang talaga ng mabuti, contributing to the Canadian economy, not complaining with changes in immigration policies, at imbes siguro na mag-complain, ay naghahanap ng ibang mabuting paraan to eventually, settle here if that is their goal. So, ayun nabanggit pa niya yung issue ng refugee na napipilitan daw yung iba na mag-seek ng asylum. Basically, sabi nga ni Immigration Minister Mark Miller din, parang misrepresentation na agad yun. So, yeah, it's not a good thing, no?
Meanwhile, we are being scapegoated for housing and job crisis. We are labeled as criminals and frauds. So sometimes I just wonder that was it not long ago that international students were the solution to labor shortage and required for the growth of economy in Canada?
I don't know. Were they? Siguro partly, no? Partly. But I think primarily it was a temporary foreign workers program that helped solve the labor shortage, no? And yung sinasabi naman niya na nagiging scapegoat sila, no? In a way, I sort of understand what she's saying. Tingin ko din nako, naging scapegoat din ang international students in the sense na bakit sila lang? Bakit mas sila ang sinisisi at hinihigpitan at sinasanction? At hindi yung mga taong nasa likod ng sistema that allowed them to enter here, given the current situation of Canada. Parang ganun di ba? I don't think they're solely to blame for it. I think more so, it's the entire system, even those in government who allowed so many people in here. Diba? Siyempre, ibang storya po, yung mga abusadong talagang naghanap ng illegal na paraan para makapunta dito sa Canada. Halimbawa na lang po yung mga namimeke ng letter of acceptance sa mga eskwelahan, sa mga college dahil natuklasan ngayon ng immigration na ayun nga may namimeke, no? Ano ba yan? But anyway, things like that does not help the plight of these students, tulad nitong isang nagsasalita, no? I mean, I'm sure her intentions are well. Sadly, it's such a complex situation, such a complex problem to solve. At sa ngayon, ang nakikita po natin ay yung gobyerno sinusubukan, ginagawa ang lahat para ma-appease yung reklamo ng mga citizens po dito. Sila po ang priority, syempre, hindi po ang immigrants, no matter what we say,
And all of a sudden, international students became the problem. So, international students and migrant workers are humans too, who seek to live and work in dignity, just like any other Canadian.
So ayun, dyan na pala nagtatapos yan, Meron din siyang binanggit kanina, na bakit nga naman sila lang daw ang sinisisi, sabi niya, doon sa housing and healthcare crisis. Some would say may point siya, kasi those who have been here a long time, ang nakwento rin po nila, yung mga mahabang pila din naman po sa healthcare ay matagal nang nag-umpisa. Same with housing. It's been a long brewing problem. Siguro lang napalala lang talaga dahil sa biglang pagdami ng mga tao in recent years, lalong lumala ang sitwasyon. Which brings me to my point earlier na it's the system that allowed so many people to come in here. That's a bigger problem that I see. So dapat lang din, 'di ba? Tingnan din po yung mga 'yun. Dapat may clearer sanctions, hindi lang sa pamamagitan ng mas mahigpit na polisiya sa immigration, kundi habulin din yung mga unscrupulous people who abuse the vulnerabilities and desperation of those who want to live in a first world country. So yun, maikli lang naman po tong video ko na to, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this as well. Put them down there in the comment section. I'll end this episode here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!